And then what you're supposed to do, according to this sketchy recipe that I found online, you're supposed to take a rough cloth, or like a, what is it called? A loofah sponge, and like scratch, the part of your body that you want it to absorb, right? You get the skin inflamed and you kind of create these micro tears on the surface of the flesh. And then what you do is you take the transdermal cutting agent and you apply it to the skin. Okay, and I'll be damned if that shit didn't work. Now, what's up, guys? I have a brand new free guide on how to lose 10 pounds in 3 days through fasting. If you want to get your hands on that, click the link in the description. It'll take you to a page where you type in your email address, and then I will send you the guide for free, how to lose 10 pounds in 3 days. If that's what you want to do, you know what to do. If not, enjoy the video. What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to lose belly fat. So anyway, the reason I'm kind of blah about this video topic is because I'll come out and tell you right now, you probably heard this before, but you can't actually lose belly fat. You can't be like, I want to lose fat on my stomach only. Well, there is one way, but nobody should do it. So like, there are surgical methods, I guess is what I'm saying. But what you could do, like, I'll tell you the shortcut first. That's all you guys want to hear. Actually, I'll make you wait till the end. I'll tell you the shortcut at the end of this video. But anyway, the point is this: most of the time, unless you do some sort of surgical procedure, you can't lose belly fat. All right. Now, it's possible that you don't have as much belly fat as you think you do. Right. So basically, what I mean by that is a lot of the protrusion of your stomach could be bloating. Right. It could be poop in your stomach. It could be actual fat. So it could be those other things, right? Now, in my experience, what I've noticed over the years is that when I eat a lot of wheat or products, food that has wheat, crackers or something like that, I will get much more bloated. So if I eat rice or some other form of carb, I don't get that. So the first, one of the first things, obviously, if you want to get rid of belly fat, or if you want to flatten your stomach, I guess is the best way to do it. You want to reduce the amount of wheat that you're eating, right? It's something, actually, I think it's even called wheat belly, right? Don't eat wheat. Simple enough, right? Stop eating wheat. Done. End of story. Finished. Other sources of carbs that you can eat potatoes, you can eat rice. I don't know. What else is there? Beans, I guess. I don't know. Potatoes and rice, that should get you most of the way there. Oats are also really good. So that's number one. Number two, it's possible. Okay, so first of all, most people eat too much. They eat too often, and when they do eat, they eat too much. Now, in my experience, and also from what I've read, if you are eating more frequently than once a day, your body does not have time to adequately detoxify, let's call it, which is not, it's kind of misleading to say detoxify, but if you eat more than once a day, your body has not processed all of the food that you have eaten and pooped it out by the time you eat again, if you're eating more than once a day. So for example, if you're eating 3 meals a day, like the good old Kellogg's Corporation wants you to, you are probably not completely, fully digesting and using all of the food that you have eaten by the time, in between breakfast and lunch, right? Oh yeah, but I feel hungry. It doesn't matter, okay? You will eventually, when you switch to 1 meal a day, which is ideal for most people, you will eventually get used to that, assuming you, have adjusted for your energy expenditure, assuming you're not doing like a crazy hardcore workout in the morning, right? And even then, if you're doing a crazy hardcore workout in the morning and you eat immediately afterwards, even if you eat small recovery meals throughout the day, it's still not likely that your body has completely used all of the food that you've eaten. But anyway, put that all aside, right? So the point is this, is that if you're eating more than once a day, you still probably have lots of incompletely digested food in your body that your body is constantly trying to work towards or work through when you're piling more and more food on top of it, right? So think of your body as some sort of processor, and you're dumping shit into this processor without it fully being completed yet. Now, if this was an actual machine, it wouldn't make that big of a deal, because a machine generally is going to process whatever it processes at the same rate, regardless of how much shit is in there, unless it's very overloaded. But your body doesn't quite work like that. Your body is much more elastic in the rate at which it will process food. So for example, you eat, let's say you go 24 hours without eating, your body is like revved up, like it's ready to go. It's like, put me in, coach, let me process some food right now. I'm ready to knock it out of the park. So then when you finally eat some food, your body's gonna process it very quickly. Whereas on the other hand, if you're eating fucking 8 meals a day, your body is going to slow down the rate at which it processes food. Overall, right, it might process more, right? You might gain more muscle, but you're also gonna get really fat and you're gonna feel like shit. Whereas if you eat 1 meal a day, you're gonna be leaner, you're gonna be more wiry, and you'll have more energy because your body does not have to put more energy towards digesting and processing food. So number one, don't eat wheat. Number two, stop eating so often, right? You're going to be hungry in the beginning, you're gonna feel a little bit deprived in the beginning, but chances are most of you are not athletes. Chances are most of you are not working on your feet, you don't have a physical job, you're sitting in some fucking office or cleaning your house or whatever you do, and you don't need to eat a recovery meal, or you don't need to eat small recovery meals throughout the day. If you're an athlete and you train in the morning, you have a different set of requirements, which requires different behaviors, but that's probably not you. Okay, so eat once a day, all right? Avoid wheat, eat once a day. The second thing that you can do, right? Let's assume that your bloating is gone and you're eating once a day, so you don't have any buildup in your colon and your intestines. Those two things alone are going to flatten your stomach out quite a bit. Now, the reason that most overweight people have a bloated stomach is, I would argue, for those two reasons. They're constantly piling more and more food on top of food that they haven't digested, which is going to cause bloating, which is going to cause their stomach to stick out. And it's going to just give them like a fatter overall appearance, regardless of how much actual fat they have on their body. That's the important thing to note, right? Now, other ways to lose belly fat, I guess I'll tell you the secret one right now. Okay, well actually I'll tell you two more before I tell you the secret one, right? So the third one is to do ab exercises, right? Now this is something that you hear a lot of people say, like, oh, it doesn't matter how many sit-ups you do, you're not gonna have abs unless your body fat percentage is at a certain level. And that's true, right? This is true, but it's misleading in the same way that calories in, calories out is also misleading, because it doesn't tell the whole story. Okay, the fact is that those people that you see in magazines with fucking ripped abs, they train their abs, and they train their abs a lot, which is why the muscles are so big. If you have little tiny underdeveloped muscles, I don't want to say it doesn't make sense to get rid of all your belly fat. You should still do it anyway, but you are going to need to build those muscles in order for them to kind of push through the fat and spread it out, right? You're not going to get to 0% body fat on your abs. You're always going to have a little bit of fat there. And if your ab muscles are small and undefined, the fat is going to sit comfortably on top of them. Whereas if the muscles are bigger, they will kind of push against the fat the same way that if you fill a balloon with water, it's going to expand and it's going to become more thin overall, right? Because there's more stuff inside that's filling it out and stretching it out. So that's something that's also very important to do. Don't neglect your ab exercises just because you read some Redditor, blogger say like, doesn't actually matter how many ab exercises you do if you're fat, which is, like I said, technically true, but you still need to do the ab exercises to build the muscle so that something will show, because you're never going to completely get rid of all the fat, is the point. What was the other one I was going to tell you before I get to the secret one? The secret one is, I'll just tell you the secret one, maybe I'll remember the other one later. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Well, whatever, I'll just tell you the secret one. So the secret one is to make what's called a transdermal cutting agent. Now, this is not something that I recommend that anybody does ever. Do it at your own risk. This is for educational purposes only, blah, blah, blah. But back in the day, when I was a little mad scientist, I wanted to burn belly fat. And because I would always train very hard, I think I was 20 years old, I would always train very hard, and I was never able to really get rid of that last little bit of fat. I wasn't like a fat person. I was pretty fit, but I wanted to get down to like 7% body fat, Anyway, what I did is I found a recipe online for a transdermal cutting agent, and the ingredients that we used were denatured alcohol, You're supposed to use ethanol, but I couldn't find ethanol, so I used denatured alcohol. To this day, I'm still not sure if those are the same thing. But anyway, I went to the hardware store, I bought denatured alcohol, and I took some yohimbe, which is an herb that will burn body fat, actually burn body fat. I've got a video on that somewhere. I took yohimbe and I mixed it with the denatured alcohol. So what happened is it created a solution, like a mixed solution of yohimbe and denatured alcohol. And then what you're supposed to do, according to this sketchy recipe that I found online, you're supposed to take a rough cloth, or like what is it called? A loofah sponge, and like scratch, the part of your body that you want it to absorb, right? You get the skin inflamed and you kind of create these micro tears on the surface of the flesh. And then what you do is you take the transdermal cutting agent and you apply it to the skin. Okay, and I'll be damned if that shit didn't work. Now the problem with yohimbe is that it has very undesirable side effects. Okay, so what would end up happening is, because I had rubbed the skin raw, there would be what's called systemic leakage, right? Which means the substance that you apply topically is going to leak into your system overall, and it's going to kind of, course through your veins, and you're going to experience the full effect of that. And the effects of yohimbe are not really that good. It makes you anxious, your heart beats super fast, and you just feel like shit overall. Now, however, I will say that compared to taking an actual pill of yohimbe, this was much better, right? I was able to target the areas that I wanted to target, and I didn't have as much of a systemic effect from the yohimbe. So I guess that'll actually be the last one. And then if you really want more than that, you can fast, you can not eat. Your stomach will get super flat in a couple days if you don't eat, believe me. And then if you really want to crank it up, you can not eat and then run and then not eat. Like go a couple days, run every day and don't eat. Let me tell you, you're gonna lose a lot of weight. Anyway, that's my video on how to burn belly fat, or how to flatten your tummy, or whatever the fucking SEO term is for it these days. Do you guys have any questions, comments? Let me know, leave me a comment. Peace. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Any and all comments are appreciated, as they do help the algorithm. Also, if you want to get your hands on my brand new fasting guide, How to Lose 10 Pounds in 3 Days, click the link in the description. It'll take you to a page where you type in your email address and you will get the guide in your email immediately. That's it. See you next time. Peace.